Welcome. You have reached Imperial Sports. Today we're going to be talking about, was Errol Spence exposed? Let's get into it. So, if you're a boxing fan, big fight last night, Saturday, September 28th, 2019. Errol Spence, welterweight IBF champion, for Shawn Porter, WBC welterweight champion. That welterweight weight class is at 147, in case you didn't know. So, leading up to this fight, Errol Spence is looked at as the runaway at the welterweight division. Like, he's looked at as the main key guy. He's the guy that's out of the welterweights that's pitting up the pay-per-view along with Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao is a legend, so Manny Pacquiao does hold a belt as well. He took a belt from Keith Thurman. So right now the division holds it's four major belts. It's always a bunch of other belts, but it's four major belts. Right now, after last night, Errol Spence holds the IBF and WBC. The other two belt holders is Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. Now, leading up to this fight, everybody know Shawn Porter's last fight against Ugas. He looked at like crap, and many believe, including myself, that Ugas really won that fight, but they gave it to Shawn Porter because he's the bigger name, and you know what I'm saying. Ugas got a couple losses, so it didn't really. Even though Shawn Porter had a couple losses too, but sometimes the politics of boxing gets in the middle of things, and the decision is not made the appropriate decision. But if you're into boxing, you already know that's a fact. So, watching this fight, everybody felt Errol Spence would be too much stronger for Porter to handle, and he will overwhelm Palmer and beat Porter relatively easy. And if he didn't knock Porter out, it would be more of like a dominating fashion, which he did to Mikey Garcia, who came up in weight to fight Errol Spence earlier this year in March. Now, styles make fights, and that is very true with boxing. So, like I said, Shawn Porter's last fight against Ugas, he looked like crap, and to me, he really lost. But having this fight right here, man, Shawn Porter came on his A game. He came on his A game, and he really trained, and he brought it from opening round. And the decision that one of the judges was way, like, it had like one of them 116, 111, something crazy like that. And it was way closer. The difference in the fight to me came down to 11th round when Errol Spence caught Porter and dropped him, because you instantly had to score that to a 10-8 round. So that instantly gave Earl the favor, and all he had to do is close it out in the 12th round. And so Spence, true warrior, held on, and he got the win. And you can see Porter wasn't really that mad, because he was such the underdog that he knew he gained a lot of people respect. So this is, if you, like I said, if you a fan of boxing, you know Rocky movies. So if you know Rocky 1, Rocky was a heavy underdog, but he brawled Apollo so hard, and brawled Apollo where Apollo never been brawled before. He took Apollo to lengths he never been took before. that after the fight, yeah, Apollo won, but everybody respected Rocky because his heart, his tenacity, what he took Apollo to, nobody seen that before. So everybody instantly was looking like, yeah, Apollo, you won, but Rocky really won that. So that's kind of this type of situation. Like, yeah, Earl won, rightfully so, but a hell of a lot of people respects Shawn Porter from this, and rightfully so. So the question is, everybody saying, it was Errol Spence exposed? I don't really think it was so much that he was exposed. What I've noticed, and this is just my opinion, is that in between fights, Errol Spence, I seen him I seen other fights that he show up to. He pits on weight. So his average, you gotta think the welterweight division is 147, and his average walk around weight seems to me is somewhere like between 170 and 180. So to make weight, if he's like at that 180, 175 range, he's got to lose 30 something pounds easy to get ready for a fight, and that's losing weight, and then got to train too. So that's not uncommon. A lot of boxers lose weight to make weight so that they can make a lower weight to box. And so that's not uncommon, but I think Errol Spence would do him justice, just from my opinion, to take on the Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather page of world class, what me and my folks call world class athlete. And what is that? That means at all given times, 365 days of the year, they are in shape, ready to play. You know what I'm saying? So you don't got to get ready if you're already ready. And that's kind of like what he needs to adapt that in between fights, blowing up, it ain't helping them, especially if you want to be dominant, because now the higher you become, the more popular you become, people are headhunting you, and they want that. They get hungry. More and more people, like at first, like 2 years ago, man, guys wasn't even coming nowhere near Errol Spence. They was staying away from him when he was climbing. But now, everybody feel like when they see a chink in your armor, the first chink in the armor, like he said, he wanted to show his boxing ability against Mikey Garcia. Now, no disregard to Mikey or whatever, because Mikey was undefeated and was a good fighter, but he came up, and yeah, Errol Spence displayed a boxing ability, but a lot of people looked at you should have crushed, like Mikey should have been crushed, you know what I'm saying? But he flipped it by saying, yeah, I want to show everybody my boxing ability. So everybody like, whatever. All right. But it was moments in that Mikey fight, if you really go back and look at that fight, that I seen some times where Mikey caught him with some punches. And it was enough to wake him up to let him know, like, I can't go full engage and really try to knock this dude out, because this dude might catch me or whatever. And I said then is that Earl opens himself up to get hit. And when he gets hit, it can stun him. And so when you got a guy like Porter who's punching from all angles and wild and tough and push forward, well, when you get somebody like that you could get caught. And Earl got caught a few times and early in this match. So I don't think Earl got exposed. He just met somebody that wasn't afraid and was willing to go the distance and willing to take it to him. And this should make him a better fighter. This should make him go back to the drawing board to get better. Because now, when people find a chink in the armor and they feel as though they can get you, everybody gonna want to take a shot now. They did, like the boogeyman, like they said, the fear factor is left. Now you got a guy like Danny Garcia. He comes in the ring afterward. He stayed away from Earl. For now, he feels as though, hey, Michael Garcia got in there, Shawn Porter got in there. I could get in there and whatchamacallit. And Crawford on his end, he never wavered. He always was saying, I go at Earl. And Manny Pacquiao now is gonna look at this fight and say, I can fare against Earl. And he can. Because Earl's fight game is more or less, he's a body puncher. So that's what his game plan is, just to keep attacking your body and weaken you. And it's like, it's a muggy, dirty type. I said not dirty. I won't call him dirty, but a muggy type, grind type fight. Fighting like that, just keep going to the body. But by you keep going to the body, you're opening yourself up to get stung. You're opening yourself up to get cracked and endure some punishment, you know? So keep going to the body. So these fighters he's fighting are shorter guys, so you got to get lower to fight these guys. So right now, I think Earl, it's the end of the year. He's not going to fight again till maybe February or March again of next year. Pacquiao has to determine who's he going to fight. So Pacquiao is either going to fight Crawford, Porter, or Spence. It'd be lovely to see him fight Spence next March. That'd be lovely to see that. You know what I mean? That way Spence could go after another belt, and then we set up end of the year next year with him and Crawford. But what I think that may happen is, with Porter having a successful fight against Spence, I think he might be the one that get the fight versus Manny. Manny's either going to choose Crawford or Porter, and I think he might choose Porter, because that'd be a good pay-per-view fight. All Porter did was set himself up for another pay-per-view fight and make some good money. And I think Manny gonna choose Porter to fight sometime in the first quarter of next year, and I think by like March or something like that. And that's gonna go like that. Meanwhile, Crawford, he still is not on target to fight anybody else. He fought Mir Khan, which was nobody. So really, Danny Garcia and Terrence Crawford should be fighting right now. Danny Garcia coming in the ring after Errol Spence, man, it should be Crawford versus Danny Garcia right now, and that's where that should go, or whatever. So, but what I can see, if Manny chooses Porter, I can see Errol and Danny Garcia fighting in the first quarter of next year. I can see that happening, or whatever. But that really, I would, if I'm Spence, I don't want to fight Danny Garcia, because he ain't got no belt, so he ain't your mandatory. So I'm like, I don't want to fight him, but you don't gain nothing from fighting him. It'd just be an entertaining fight, or whatever. If anything, if I'm Spence and you on the belt chase, you fight Crawford or Pacquiao next. Either or, and save the rematch. You don't want to rematch Porter, because if you didn't knock him down, Porter might have won that fight. So don't want to rematch him yet, or whatever. So what I would do is I'll fight Crawford first thing of next year, first quarter. Get it over with. You know what I mean? Everybody been wanting it back and forth, and even now more. You're gonna get more Crawford fans saying he really could beat you. Dig deep. End the year. Don't party too much. Enjoy your time. Fight Crawford first quarter, March of next year. Get it over with. I really think you could beat Crawford because I haven't seen anything to whatever with Crawford where Crawford is going to dominate. And actually, the way Shawn Porter fight now, Styles make fights. If Porter don't get if I'm Porter, if I don't get the Manny fight first quarter next year, I'm going after Crawford. I'm going to take because Crawford would give. It'd be a real test for. I mean, Porter would give Crawford some problems, and as long as he trained like he trained against Earl, he's going to give Crawford some problems. And then on top of that, it'll be a real test for Crawford too. So he's going to give Crawford. So it's looking real good for Porter right now. He did enough. He didn't lose anything from losing that fight. So that's basically my commentary on the fight. I have Errol winning off of that knockdown. That gave him the edge. Porter was he wasn't mad with it. So that's my commentary. That's my thoughts on the matter. And Earl, this is just you escaped it. Tighten up. That's all. Tighten up. Making yourself better. And then I heard him. He did. Let me throw this in there. He did make a comment saying something like, 'cause I think he knows coming down in weight that's hard. So he talking about, well, maybe I'll fight somebody at 154. Nah, Chief. You go after one of them like J-Rock. Nah, Chief. Nah, because them blows you get caught with them little guys, and they swell you up like that. You go in some bigger guys that hit harder. Nah, man. So fighting somebody like J-Rock, they'll put it on you, man. They'll put it on you. Or whatever. I don't, not right yet. Dominate the welterweight, get all your belts, and then go up. Don't risk, whatever. Get your belts and then go up or whatever, because you'll be that much bigger of a star. And then fighting Canelo, woo, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Of course, to go up and weight, they probably give you like a teaser person to fight. You know what I'm saying? To get. But man, I don't know, man. Nah, we're not right now. Keep doing what you're doing. You got too many fights left over there. You got too many money fights over there that's still entertaining. You don't gotta even focus on going up or whatever. Just tighten up. Stay in the gym. No blowing up. I'm dialing or whatever. And the perception is, to me and my folk, when we seen, and we could be wrong, it's just the perception when we see on TV, is that it didn't look like in between fights that Bernard Hopkins or Floyd Mayweather they drink in between fights. It didn't seem like they did. So that's all I have for this matter. Stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, share the video more than anything. Till next time.